Cholesterol levels, blood lipids, they tend to get worse in midlife. We're going to talk about the lifestyle things you could do to improve your blood lipids, supplements, diet. What can you do to make your numbers look better and reduce your risk of heart disease? That's what we're going to talk about right now. Let's get to it.
Tell me more.
First, you're going to address, I feel how often people get this wrong.
Yeah.
And that technically a high level of HDL, LDL doesn't always necessarily mean it's a bad thing.
Not necessarily.
It's more about the particle size and what they look like.
Yeah, so total cholesterol, which is what we used to really pay attention to. This is just the one number.
Yes.
Unless it's really, really high, it doesn't say a ton. HDL, LDL will tell us more. And then you can look at the type of LDL, which will tell you even more.
You have to request that, though. So if you go get normal blood panels,
they just look at HDL. They look at total HDL and LDL,
which is unfortunate because how many times have we had this where a client comes back and they have this scare because their number says high, but they're like, this doesn't make sense. I eat whole foods and I train and I do all the things, and so. What is it that I'm supposed to request from my doctor? So is it just, can I find out the particles? What is that conversation?
You want to look at you want to be able to differentiate between particle sizes, especially with the LDL.
I mean, but that's what I would. So
and now this is getting much easier to order. This is getting much easier now to get from your doctor if you request it.
But I have to request it. So what is that? So I'm naive. I go get normal blood panels. That comes back. I get freaked out. It's cholesterol. You hear from one of our trainers or you that says, you know what, you need to go ask them for what?
I don't know the name, Doug. Maybe you could pull that up for me. But I do know you can say specifically, I would like to take a test that will differentiate the LDL particles.
Okay.
I don't know what the exact name of it is, but when you go get a blood test, just tell them right out the gates, hey, I know I'm testing my blood lipids. Can I get a test that also differentiates the size of the LDL particles?
Okay.
And it's a lot, 5-10 years ago, this was very difficult to get. These days, it's much easier. So I don't know, Doug. Do you have the name?
Yeah, the NMR lipoprofile test.
There you go.
Yeah,
well, that's it right there.
Might be easier to do. What you just said,
yeah, that's what I would say.
I was hoping it had like a simpler name for people to remember to request. Because I've been asked that a lot. I've been asked like, what do I say to my doctor? Because I just said my full blood panels, and this is what they give back to me.
Now here's before we get into this, it's important to understand. Look, if your blood lipids look really bad, like that's a red flag, okay? But it's really, for most people, this is a piece of a bigger picture, okay? So when you get your blood lipid results back, you want to also look at other health factors like blood pressure, activity level, symptoms of other health symptoms. You want to look at all those things. Now, why am I saying that? Because your blood lipids could look good, but you could also be out of shape and have other risk factors that would tell you, hey, you're not doing so well. So you want to look at all those things. Nonetheless, there is in our space, especially the wellness space, this kind of myth that says blood lipids don't matter, which is not true. LDL is, in all the data that I've seen, in a majority of the data, some data will counter it, but most of the data shows that LDL, the higher it is, the higher your risk is of having issues with your heart. And then, of course, the LDL particle size, I believe it's small. I think it's LDL-C, if I'm not mistaken. I wrote it down. That's the one that you really want to pay attention to. So again, if it's really bad, it's a red flag. Nonetheless, if you're a health-conscious individual, get the differentiating test. Pay attention. And then there's things you could do that'll change these things. Natural things. Natural things you could do that'll improve this. Now, as you get older, these numbers tend to get worse. Liver function changes, LDL receptor activity goes down, meaning your LDL circulates in your blood more rather than getting utilized because your receptors aren't as active. And then genetics plays a really big role in this, especially with people really bad blood lipid levels. Oftentimes it's like, man, their genetics just kind of produces.
Is it the majority people that have issues with this polymorphisms that is really
that's the genetic
to? Yeah, because for the most part, like dietary, I guess lipids, you could control that a little more so than cholesterol.
Yes. So there are changes. There are lifestyle changes that have some pretty good impacts. We'll start with exercise. So everybody knows exercise is good for you. And it does have a positive impact on your blood lipids. And there are better forms of exercise for this than others. So strength training, great form of exercise, really good for blood sugar regulation, really good for mobility, to decrease frailty, help with the faster metabolism. By the way, as you get leaner, blood lipids always tend to improve. But it's really mainly impacts HDL in a positive way. It has an impact on LDL, but not nearly as much as cardio. Cardio has a really, really good impact on LDL.
I was going to ask you related to exercise. What about building muscle, and is it independent to building muscle? Like the exercise itself has positive benefit, or is it because you are building these larger vessels that store energy and fuel because that will go down?
It's literally the form of exercise. Cardiovascular activity seems to have, in all the data I've seen, a more positive effect on improving LDL numbers. So if you're like really concerned with your LDL, cardio is the form of exercise you want to incorporate. That doesn't mean you don't do other forms of exercise, but make sure you do some of it. And then what kind of cardio? HIIT cardio has the best.
Which is a little challenging because
I know where you're going, so I'm happy you're going there.
Okay, so because what happens most times when we get a client who is 40, 50 plus pounds overweight is cholesterol is high too, but these markers are going to be high. Mm-hmm. Doctor's going to say, based off the research, what you just said, cardio is one of the best forms to start to
and do HIIT cardio,
and to do that, right, to start getting that down. But what we know is if I'm going to be really, because nothing will help this person more than getting the 40 to 50 pounds of fat off their body and building some muscle.
Yes.
Even though cardio in the short term might have the best effect, and even knowing that as a coach and trainer, that's not my first go-to move with this client. My first go-to move with this client is actually to build muscle, speed their metabolism up, to help them with the journey to lose fat loss, even though in the short term, I know that's probably which is one of the hardest things for a coach and a trainer, because I know that's what the doctor is saying that, and I'm going, hey, I know what he's saying is one of the fastest and the best ways, and I understand, I know what the research says, but I also know if you're going to be successful at getting this 50 pounds that you want to get off your body, and you're only eating these many calories, and this is what your diet looks like, we've got to build some muscle on that body, which is going to get you in a better place metabolically, which will then make the weight loss, cardio, all the things better.
And just to back you up, a strength test is actually one of the best predictors of all-cause mortality. So being weak will predict mortality better than lipids that don't look so great, aside from the really terrible, lipid profiles that a few people will see. And also, here's the thing. Look, the form of exercise that you apply has to be appropriate. HIIT cardio, so people aren't familiar with it stands for high intensity interval training. For people who aren't familiar, what this is this would look like, an example would be like an all-out sprint for a short period of time, followed by cruising until your heart rate comes down and then going after it again. It's a very intense form of cardio. Yeah. It's not appropriate for most people.
Yeah.
So although the data may show that this is really good for reducing LDL, if it's not appropriate for you, you can't do it. It's not gonna benefit you. Why? Because your risk of injury goes up. It's too stressful on the body, can cause lots of other problems. So what the doctor will say to you is you need to exercise, and maybe they'll say do cardio, but they're not the exercise expert. Mm-hmm. The doctor is looking at your panel saying you need to do something. Take that to the exercise expert, who then can apply the appropriate type of exercise for you based on your fitness level, your goals, your time,
if
what's
you're deconditioned and frail and you have all these like prerequisite issues that you're not addressing, it's like, that's the problem with a lot of these general standards and advices. They're looking at numbers and they're not really looking at the process of you going through that, which in fact may actually set you back substantially because you might get injured.
Well, let me ask you guys this. You get 50 people in their 50s coming to hire you as a trainer. None of them working out consistently, right? Typical 50-year-old. What percentage of them would HIIT cardio right out the gates be appropriate? 0?
0 to 1,
yeah,
maybe?
It's just not appropriate.
Not right out gates, although I could see an example where I've got this, again, using the analogy of the 40, 50 plus pounds overweight, doctors telling you need to get some of this off. I know I need to reverse diet, build muscle. I could see strength training with that person, for a 30, 40-minute session of strength-focused training while we're hitting our protein intake, and then ending our session with an elliptical where we get on there for 10 minutes to 12 minutes tops, and we have these little bursts where they pick up the air intensity.
You're going to prepare them and get them ready so that HIIT cardio becomes appropriate later.
Yes.
Is my point.
Yes.
And that's just the caution that I want to tell people.
Yes.
So although the data shows HIIT cardio is great, if you're not exercising right now or you're not doing it now, you got to work your way up to it. Otherwise, it's going to be bad.
Right.
It's not going to be good for you.
And so that would be my way of doing that, right? We're still, the cornerstone is still strength training, is still the reverse diet, is still building muscle, is still putting ourselves in because 10 minutes of this person getting on the elliptical is also not going to send a loud enough cardio signal that we're not going to build muscle, either, right? So it's like getting them to the place where they can get to a place where maybe a month, 2 months down the road, we can start to introduce some of this high interval training cardio at the end of our training sessions. And it would be infrequent still at first too. It'd be 2-3 days a week at most.
It'd be the lower risk ones like you mentioned, like
elliptical.
or
That's why I said that. Yeah, I would not elliptical or biking. Would
not
be,
running.
Definitely not. 50 pounds overweight, all these issues going on. The last thing I'm doing is having that client do an all out sprint for 15 seconds.
That's an injury waiting to happen.
Oh, 100%.
We also have a sale on 4 MAPS workout programs. MAPS Starter, MAPS Transform, MAPS Anabolic, and MAPS Performance. They're all 50% off right now. If you're interested, go to mapsjanuary.com. Use the code NEWYEAR50 for the discount. Back to the show.
All right, real quick. If you love us like we love you, why not show it by rocking one of our shirts, hats, mugs, or training gear over at mypumpstore.com. I'm talking right now. Hit pause, head on over to mypumpstore.com. That's it. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Next, we'll talk about diet. So obviously, there's a lot of things that go into a healthy diet, but the type of fats that you eat play a pretty significant role in this with people who get these panels that come back that are off. And one of the most effective things you could do is replace saturated fat intake with other fats that have a beneficial effect, like olive oil is a good example. Nuts are a good example. And then if you're going to eat red meat, go with grass-fed, grass-finished versions of that meat because the fatty acid profile is better. It's better in this case. And here's what's interesting with saturated fat. So again, this is where the wellness side can go a little too far. It doesn't matter. Saturated fat doesn't matter. It actually does matter for some people. For the people it matters it matters. Now, some of us, it doesn't make that big of a difference. I'm one of those people. I could eat saturated fat until I can't breathe, and it seems to have no negative effect on me. And there's some people that are like this. Now, other people, I've had clients like this where this was the thing that made the difference. It was changing their saturated fat intake, reducing it, increasing other fats, like olive oil is a great example, and it made a big difference. So if this is you, it makes a difference. If it's not you, then I wouldn't worry too much.
It's funny, it almost felt wrong because I know what you're trying to find analogy-wise, until the cows come home.
Yeah,
it didn't feel right.
No, I know there's genetic anomalies, but like how much of a role is somebody who strength trains and builds muscle play in a factor in this?
I mean, being fit always makes a big difference.
Yeah, but that's a general statement. I mean, somebody.
Well, here's why.
Do you believe? Okay, and this is obviously your opinion. This isn't. You can't back this up. But do you believe a part of that, part of why you're able to do that, the way your body processes saturated fats, is because you've been building muscle since you're 15 years old, and you've got a ton of muscle.
There's two things to consider. So one is if you're in a huge calorie surplus all the time, your blood lipids are going to look worse than if you're in a deficit or maintenance. More muscle means you can eat more and still be in a deficit. So there's that. The other part of it is genetic, dude. It really, for some, it doesn't matter.
That's what I mean. I mean, there's always going to play that factor. But do you think that's percentage-wise, would you say that's half the people that's a genetic thing? Would you say that's 25%? Or do you think it's like a single digit?
There's a significant minority. I can't give you a number, but it's significant, probably over 20%.
Small.
Where this makes
a lot. 20's a lot.
Yeah, it's a significant minority where saturated fat makes a big difference. Yeah, it really does.
That's a good. And
percentage. You know if this is you.
Almost 1 out of 4 people then that are struggling.
You'll know if this is you because you'll do everything right. This is what it'll feel like. I'm working out. I'm eating right. I'm exercising. I feel I'm lean. Man, my LDL's high. Like, what's going on? Why is my LDL high? This doesn't really make any sense.
Recently like that? Didn't somebody just come in here that was telling us that? Was it someone that was listening to the podcast, or I can't remember?
Oh, I think we talked with someone. It was a caller.
Was it a caller?
It was a caller.
Yeah, and they were fit. They were in good shape. All those things, and they still were struggling with that.
Yes. Next is fiber. So increasing dietary fiber does make a difference with this. It binds with the bile acids, and this helps increase LDL receptor activity, helps your body utilize the cholesterol better. It also helps sweep cholesterol out. That's dietary. So fiber makes a good difference when it comes to this. And so this is where the carnivore people kind of freak out.
Yeah.
But it's like the data
It's interesting,
is clear
yeah,
on this.
where they're so not into fiber. Because for me, like even when you talk about like psyllium husk and what it does to clean out a lot of the microplastics, a lot of like things within your system, it seems like it's like a cleaning system. You need that.
Yeah, psyllium husk is a supplemental fiber that actually makes a big difference. By the way, there are carnivore diet people, just eat meat, they just eat red meat. They're like, look at my blood lipids, how much better they got. Saturated fat's not bad.
Because lower calories.
You went in a deficit.
Yes, you're in a lower
You went in a
calorie.
massive deficit.
That made a big difference.
That
Well,
fixes a lot of things. I won't let people know. Going to calorie deficit often fixes a lot of things.
It's the same reason why all the vegan people go that way too. I mean, why you get that many people that, oh my God, the vegan diet did it for us. It's like, well, no, you cut out so many calories.
This is why you'll get those. I hate people that do this, but they're doing it to prove a point. You'll get like the food scientist who's like, I'm only going to eat garbage.
Yeah,
and
McDonald's,
I'm going to show.
but at 1,500 calories or whatever.
Yeah, my blood lipids are going to improve dramatically.
Any
And they
crap
do
you keep low calorie,
because the calories are low. But I'll say this: try going low calorie eating garbage. Good luck. That's going to be really, really hard.
Well, and the reason why the carnivore thing got so popular, one, to your point, that 80% of the people are going to see a positive change because of that. I mean, if the genetic anomalies are in a small minority of 20 or a large minority, you said 20%, that's still going to help 80% of the people because it's going to naturally put them in a caloric deficit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've never tried to eat
just meat.
2,500 to 3,000 calories.
But there's other reasons why it's not healthy too. Let's make sure we say that.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the main reason why I think it gets so much popularity is because it ends up helping so many people. But then the other side that people get so angry about, well, you probably fall in that 20% where it does the opposite for you.
That's right. That's right. And then there's supplements that actually make a difference when it comes to cholesterol. There are actual supplements with studies that show a pretty measurable difference.
Red yeast, is that what?
Well, we'll get to that one because that one's the most powerful one. But citrus bergamot is one.
I don't know if I've heard
So
of
this
bergamot.
this is a.
Where do you find that?
You could buy it as a supplement. I think it's a fruit found in southern Italy, if I'm not mistaken. This actually shows a measurable difference in total cholesterol, increases HDL, decreases LDL-C. The bad form of.
Now, is this a specific fruit found in Italy, or is this like found in all citrus
No,
fruits?
I think it's a specific type of fruit found in. Look up the fruit itself, Doug.
Dose has that?
That's the actual supplement. No, I don't know if it's in there.
I mean, why would a dose pop up? Oh, because he did cholesterol.
Because you could put cholesterol in there. But it's found in Calabria, if I'm not mistaken, which is southern Italy. So maybe you could look that up, Doug. But the data on this is pretty interesting. It does improve blood lipids pretty well.
But not as well as
red yeast rice extract.
You're correct. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fruit, right?
Yeah. In
Can I
southern,
see it? Can I see what it looks like? Is it like an orangey looking fruit, or was it?
It looks more like a lime.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. So red yeast rice extract is a natural statin. In fact, I wrote it down. The active ingredient in red yeast rice is called monocolin K. This is a compound that is chemically identical to lovastatin, which is a pharmaceutical statin. So it's actually a statin. So you could buy this at a supplement store, take it, and you will see improvements in your blood lipids from taking
So
this.
is that where they derive statins from? Is it derived?
I think they might have studied red yeast rice.
And then they just probably concentrate it, which is what
I
we
know
do.
Doug's
Tend to
tried
always do
red
with
yeast
pharmacy
rice.
stuff.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. How big of a difference did you see?
Oh, massive difference.
Oh, you messed with it. I didn't know that.
I did. I mean, at one point, my cholesterol had gotten up to like 280, and I dropped it down to 200 using that.
When was that?
Oh, it's been years ago.
Was it during Mind Pump?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, makes a big difference.
Was it one of our Cabral tests that you found that out, or when did you find
Just
that?
my blood tests, and I saw my blood was high, so my cholesterol levels were high, so I dropped
Interesting.
it down. Yeah.
What? Obviously, you did that to do that, but anything in your diet at that time? Would you say you were like off on your diet, or
No, not at all.
See, Doug's one of those people, and this is so. By the way, when I talk about clients I've had, Doug always comes up to mind for me because there's people who are like, "Well, I'm doing everything right," and then you look at their diet and stuff. You're like, no, you're not. There's a lot of things you can do. Doug does everything right.
That's why
He's a very healthy.
That's why I'm so curious. I was curious what was going on for him to be that high.
Nothing.
No, just
genetics.
Yeah, genetics. My dad always had high cholesterol.
So do you continually have to use the supplement,
No,
or do you?
I stopped it.
Interesting. So you were able to use it.
So I'm using again some other supplements. Niacin is
Niacin
another
will
thing.
lower.
Yeah.
Yep.
Niacin.
You use niacin?
The problem with niacin,
It
it makes
you hot and flush.
Oh, it makes you feel horrible.
I remember the first time I took it.
You know that's how they treated high cholesterol back in the day.
Yeah, it works though.
With niacin.
It works.
But it sucks.
I started doing the dose though now.
Yeah.
Because that has it.
Well, it doesn't have niacin, but it has a bunch of. It does have niacin. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm just trying to see if they have the other one, the fruit. I don't see that.
Back in the day, the way people would treat cholesterol is they would take a high dose of niacin and go in a sauna.
Oh my god.
I know. Could you imagine being in a
you
sauna?
feel like you're in a sauna already.
Oh, I
from
do
niacin?
that now.
I remember niacin was one of those supplements that the first time I ever had something that made me feel like I was sweating.
You could feel it.
Yeah, I could sweat
You
without
look like you
doing
got a
anything.
sunburn.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, dude.
You know, hey, speaking of food, okay, what the whole food flipping the pyramid thing.
Yes.
I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think I was talking to Gabriel Lyon about it?
So it's great. It's
yeah.
great. So first off,
Is it huge?
huge.
I think it'll make
Trump?
a bigger
Is it huge,
impact
Trump?
than most people think.
huge?
It's big
huge.
because meat is now not something that people are like freaking out over. Now, it's cool because we just talked about grass-fed, grass-finished meat.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people that likes meat, and you're fit and healthy,
Bill
and for
Gates
whatever
upset
reason,
about it, probably.
and for whatever reason, your
Screw that
blood lipids aren't that great. You know, Butcher Box is we worked with them for a long time. Great company.
Yeah.
You go with Butcher Box, and they have a good variety of grass-fed, grass-finished meat. Deliver it to your door. Now, so if you eat a lot of red meat, switching from conventional to grass-fed, for many people makes a big enough difference because of the difference in the fatty acid profile.
Yeah. Now you're good about that now, right? You're good about eating your Butcher Box meat. Are you?
That's about all I eat anymore.
Oh, so you are way more consistent than I am.
I mean, occasionally I go out and have a steak, so I don't get
Right.
it. But
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you're cooking,
most
if
part,
you're
yeah.
grilling at home, you're going to be grilling a Butcher Box steak most of the time.
most of the time.
You know what the big difference with the new food pyramid is? The protein recommendations.
Have you guys seen the text I've been sending you guys?
Yeah.
Have you seen all the advertising that's coming out?
I know.
Chipotle's
yeah.
pushing
All
now.
these
Jack in the Box is
protein
pushing.
heavy menus.
Everyone's.
What was the old recommendation for protein and what is the new one? I think it's like double. I think they doubled it, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
Really?
just that impact alone of just pointing to that, I think that's substantial. You
So
know,
I would
for your
love to.
average
I would
person.
love to hear. I'll have to have Katrina ask Butcher Box because I'm so curious to how like a company like that, they've been established for a really long time. That's obviously primarily.
Are they going to see like new sales?
Right. Will it impact that much that all of a sudden companies like that will feel the boost?
Yeah. What does it show, Doug, for the comparison? 'Cause it's a pretty
Yeah,
big
see, the
difference.
old was 0.8 per kilogram of body weight, and now it's 1.2 to 1.6.
So double essentially.
Yeah.
So double the amount of protein now is what they recommend.
So funny.
And look what it says, supporting muscle metabolism and overall health. Isn't that great?
I mean, that just flies in the face of all the people that used to use that number as a this is all you need.
I'm going to look up, what's that? I'm going to
Half?
give you, let's look up what does that look like for, I hate it when they use kilograms because,
I know 2.2 is what you divide.
yeah,
by.
I know. So I'm going to go, let me
And
see.
by the way, this is again just kind of supporting weight muscle. It's still not what optimal studies show.
So you're right. The old recommendation for a 200-pound male
yes,
who's not obese, right? 200-pound kind of average, whatever, body fat.
say 10%. Say lean 10%.
Whatever.
Okay.
72 grams of protein. That's what they used to
Bullshit.
recommend. I know. Ridiculous. Now it would be, let me see. Oh, essentially 140, right? Double. So went from 70 grams of protein to 140 for a 200-pound
Boom.
male. That's a big difference.
huge.
It's a huge.
That's
thing.
huge.
Yeah, it's a huge
That's
thing.
good news. That's
Yeah.
good news.
Yeah.
This
It's
is,
what
by
we've
the way,
been-
the fitness industry.
It's been what
is
we've been saying forever, though.
know.
Like we've said, I don't care, male or female. Okay, especially my female clients, but male or female, always I had to get. I mean, even myself. It's always when I fall off the wagon of consistency and making my meals and doing my thing. It's the first thing I do. It's I don't track, I don't measure, I don't do anything. It's just that I go after protein because it automatically gets cut almost in half when I just eat whatever I feel
By the
like.
way, I'll say this just to back you up. A 200-pound male, the difference between eating 140 grams of protein and eating 200 grams of protein, now you're going to be 140 is great. It's fine. There's nothing wrong. It's actually good. It's really good. But if you go to 200, the difference you'll see in muscle performance and recovery is astounding.
Yes.
It's astounding.
Especially if you're training hard.
That's That's in the context of working out.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
That's the part I think where there's this argument debate. If you're just an average person, you kind of exercise, or you play tennis for your movement, you do stuff like that, and you're hitting these numbers, this is good, it's going to sustain your muscle mass. But if you're actively trying to build muscle, build your metabolism, you got to go higher.
That's right.
Go higher, and you'll see a huge difference.
Yep, totally. Yeah. You know what this reminds me of, this conversation? So you guys, we're all the same with this. The people that frustrate me the most, that communicate health and fitness. There's so much bad information that's out there. There's a lot of bad information, okay, when it comes to health and fitness. This is why we started the podcast 10 years ago. This was the main motivation, was like, can we help sift through the garbage, give people right information, communicate what actually matters, and really help people out? That was the goal. The people that frustrate me the most are the fitness people who just confuse everybody.
Yeah.
And so what came up for me, the reason why this came up for me is our team has put together content for us to produce and put together just to reach more people. One of them is these kind of like these video segments where we rank exercises.
System. Yeah.
We have never done anything more controversial, which is silly.
Well, because it's throwing it all on TikTok where everybody that's really smart hangs out. So.
Well, what's frustrating, what's really frustrating is
it's not the TikTok idiots that are frustrating. I know where you're going.
Yes, dude.
It's the science and biomechanic nerds that use
I call them Fitness Pharisees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So you know why I said that? Because so if you're not a Christian, you don't know this, but if you read the Bible, Jesus doesn't yell at prostitutes and tax collectors and the sinners. He doesn't get mad at them. You know who he gets mad at? The religious, self-righteous Pharisees. Yeah. Why? And that's when he flips over tables and he yells at them essentially. Why? Because they're actively turning people away from the truth. Yeah. These people that you were talking about, they are confusing people. They're just confusing people because they come across as smart, self-righteous, here's the biomechanics, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, great, you just confused a whole bunch of people. Yeah. There was this one young woman that did a post because we ranked the top shoulder exercises.
And lateral raises were at the bottom.
We put lateral raises at the bottom.
Yes.
By the way, we have a list of exercises that we have to rank. So it's not like we just come up with it, like rank the exercise.
Priority, yeah.
And here's the context. If you only had to do one, where would it be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laterals would not be at the top.
Overhead press all day.
Overhead press at the top.
You can't even compare.
And if I'm going to pick an overhead press, it's going to be one with the greatest range of motion, which would be like an Arnold press. Because it's the most function, works the shoulder, the scapula, builds the most muscle, strength. It's going to have the most carryover. Lateral raises are at the bottom. That doesn't mean it's a bad exercise. It just means it's not nearly as good. And you have this woman who's on there trying to use biomechanics and here's what the activation does and da-da-da. They did it with leg extensions for quads also, comparing it to squat. And it's like, thanks. You just confused a bunch of people right now. Now you got a bunch of people watching this who are trying to get fit. And they're like, well, she says leg extensions is the best is a great quad exercise. I'm just going to do those for my quads. No.
I mean,
what are you doing?
I think it goes back to what I've been saying on here for a really long time, which is why the podcast had so much success early on, was because we came from a place of not only reading all the studies, the experience of training all the people, but then also when you train that many people, you get an opportunity to get an idea of what the bulk of the people that need help are. And the internet ended up consolidating all the people that watch fitness stuff, talk about fitness stuff, read fitness studies into this bubble.
So you got a bunch of bodybuilders.
Yeah, so you have a bunch of crazy fanatical orthorexic people that train
leg extensions are amazing for quads.
Right. It's I got in the thread with you. It's not often that I start to get in there too anymore, and I'm going back and forth and I'm like, I know what study you read. Okay? I'm very familiar with what the research says. But I also understand that 90% of people won't even make it 3 months of consistency working out. Yeah.
So, or they'll pick one leg exercise.
If we're lucky.
Yes, if we're lucky. College athletes.
So I hope that whoever walks away from this sees the way that we rank these and goes I'm going to prioritize when I do work out, if I do get consistent as well, in that order of exercises, and not make some argument for a lateral raise or a leg extension as being even in the top 3 of those movements. Yes, in the height of my bodybuilding, 7 days a week, not missing a day for 3 years. You bet your ass lateral raises and leg extensions made it into my routine all the time.
80% of our programs include lateral raises and leg extensions.
Right.
Okay, but it's not the most important. That's not even close to the most important.
Yeah.
And so it's just frustrating because they're turning people away, dude. They're turning people away.
Well, at the very least, what they're doing is they're confusing. I mean, I got suckered into this as a young, less educated, less experienced personal trainer. I was drawn to that type of I was drawn to the super smart guy that was dropping the studies and saying that this is what we know about this exercise. And so I'd go, which I remember. This is why I was so passionate about when we went through that, like, I don't know how many years ago, where we had to defend squats, where people were being like, "Oh, squats aren't even the king." Well, I don't know, this whole idea that they're the king of exercises.
You get as much leg
press, leg press, and hack. Yeah, it's just like,
get out of here.
And I remember being 23 and not squatting for that reason, and skipping that movement, and then getting older and realizing the benefits of learning how to squat, and then getting really good at squatting and how valuable that is.
I'll give you a really good example. So this is what a fitness Pharisee would say about fat. This would be a post. This is a classic post by a fitness Pharisee. It would say something like this. Food doesn't make you fat. Bad food doesn't make you fat. Eating too many calories makes you fat. Yeah, I mean, technically, that's true.
The end.
You just confuse the hell out of everybody.
Yeah.
And that doesn't matter. What you just said, for 90% of people, besides the fitness fanatics that understand thermodynamics and all stuff, is you just confused everybody. So now everybody's like, oh, it doesn't matter what I eat as long as I eat, low calorie. Okay, go do that. Let's see how that works in real life. It doesn't.
So you missed, this is on topic because you missed a conversation Justin and I were having. Now, this is taking a little bit more of a sports angle, but we have a very similar
stay with us.
Issue.
Oh, man. You lost me.
You'll appreciate it because it's similar, but it's in the sports world.
Yeah.
So one of the most common things that's happening, and I love our friend, I think Joe DeFranco and Ben Bruno both addressed this last year when somebody was doing this. And we're in the height of playoffs. So it was playoff basketball last year when these trainers were doing this. And you have a lot of these trainers that are very smart, have their own certification.
Yep. Have their own methods, the way they do things.
Yes. And one of their favorite things to do, and I remember Ben responded to this, and so did Joe DeFranco, because they just so happened to be coming after one of Ben's clients.
Oh, I remember this. Was so funny.
And so this is, again, so we're in playoff football now.
Yeah.
And George Kittle went down.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
There's speculation about the Niners and why there's been so many injuries, and so there's theories out there. But yeah, so apparently this trainer that started kind of coming up with his theory of like how they're like they're not training appropriately.
Yeah, and it's so arrogant to see a professional athlete go down on the field, and your assessment by the way they moved, you go, their trainer sucks or their training is terrible. When we know, okay, that one of the things that puts you at the highest risk of getting injured is poor sleep the night before. Yep. So unless you were sleeping with that motherfucker the night before and know how he slept, right? And that is...
Aren't they also playing professional football?
Yeah, exactly. It's a
at
very...
the end of the season, at the highest level.
High impact.
It's a miracle you don't get injured every time.
Blunt force trauma, like continuous.
Yeah, dude.
It's not to say that there isn't bad trainers and coaches that train athletes poorly, because I've seen that firsthand too. I've seen programming and I've actually watched the programming, right? So I think what annoys me is when these trainers take a clip from a live game, and then the way the athlete gets hurt, and then decides to use that as
see that joint angle?
Yeah, exactly. To destroy.
I would have totally isometrically.
Yes. And it's like, stop it. You have no idea how that guy ate last week. You have no idea the stress in his personal life.
He also just made it to the playoffs without an injury.
It's like, stop it. But it's more.
This is like when I would go to MMA, and then you'd hear someone in the crowd, just punch him.
Yeah.
Punch him.
What are you doing? He's right there.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, the one that's interesting to me though, so apparently there's some kind of power plant behind the stadium, and they're speculating a little bit of that. I don't know if it's EMF or like some electromagnetic kind of radiation that might have some sort of impact. I would be curious to see if
breaks
that
down
would
collagen.
do.
I saw it.
Because I know
Who
it's
knows?
like you can kind of speculate.
So
that,
it got
but
a lot. It got a lot of attention this year because
They have had a lot of injuries.
They had so many injuries
Dude,
this year. So.
along those lines, you just brought up like EMF, made me think of this. Have you guys seen or heard the accounts of the special forces, the Venezuelan special forces?
Dude, I know.
When you brought it up,
So these sonic weapons.
dude, okay,
and
there's a sci-fi movie that actually uses this. Too,
direct
which is-
energy stuff.
This is
crazy.
So this is all now confirmed, right? And these guys are being interviewed, and they're like, "Listen, you don't want to mess with these guys." First of all, Venezuela had some of the most advanced air defense systems, Chinese and Russian air defense systems.
Yeah.
Some of the most advanced. They just got turned off. So that's number one. Just shut them off. Not working anymore.
Wasn't it? It was like their version of the Pentagon is where they kind of went in
Bro,
to take them.
then they went
Is that
in.
true? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it
Oh.
was like their
Like one of their most guarded areas?
Bro,
hubs.
they went,
Oh, I
first
didn't
off,
know that.
we shut off. We just turned, I don't know how they did this. They just turned it, because they turned it
just
back on
turn it
after.
off like a
They just
switch.
turned it off. So it's not like a, what is it called? What's that? EMP bomb?
Yeah, EMP.
It's not like that where they just, they put the whole country.
The whole country would have been without.
No,
energy
it literally
grid.
just shut their air defense off. They just turned it off, which is freaky. Right?
Yeah,
That's terrifying.
yes.
Then they go in with 20 men. They had 300 special forces people defending or trying to defend Maduro. 20 men obliterated all of them. Not a single one got a single scratch.
Yeah.
And when they interviewed them, they said, well, number one, they did some kind of sonic weapon that put us on the ground and we started throwing
Yeah, I
up.
heard they had like reports of like their ears bleeding. They were disoriented.
They don't
and
we don't
so-
know what they did. And then those 20 men that sounded, they're saying, this is the report, that it sounded like each one was shooting like 300 rounds a minute by each one. And they were hitting everything. So I think that they had those, remember that,
the
that
heat
Joe
sinking?
Rogan episode where the guy had that helmet on?
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah,
AI
yeah.
that connected. So, dude, 20 dudes just.
So it directed those bullets. You
Well,
said?
what-
no,
even-
not just they could see everything.
What about
They were-
see
that?
it
What about the other
around
thing
the
that we
corner.
that we have that I think that's so fascinating, where we can just point it towards somebody and it's like crazy. It's like it looks like a big drum.
I think that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
it's
and
just something more advanced.
that's right. That's what it sounds. It sounds like it's like an advanced version because it used to be like it's like a depth. Like it feels like someone's screaming in your ears. You
Yeah.
have to cover your ears, and it's like from far away. They can do it from the boats and everything like that.
It's just crazy to me because they did that. 20 dudes go in, nobody gets hit. They kill everybody. They shut everything off, and then they literally just kidnap the guy out of his own
Crazy,
house and take him back. Wow,
Gangster.
dude.
Insane.
I know I haven't talked about it because I was waiting for just like confirmation, but that's like crazy. What kind of technology they have?
I don't know, dude.
That's scary.
I don't know.
That's terrifying.
I mean, it does make more sense though about all the UFO stuff that we were talking about before. That's probably some military. It's
probably our own thing.
It's probably some
I know.
military thing. If we got stuff that could do that.
Yeah,
like it's.
I'm sure we didn't pull out the big, most technological.
No, not for that. Not
no.
for Venezuela.
Yeah,
Going
no.
to pick up one guy. No, we didn't. We definitely didn't pull. We just pull out some of the cool shit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
How much do you know about plasma physics?
I don't
Yeah.
know much at all about
Plasma
plasma
physics?
I wanted you to go off on it.
No.
I have no idea. I just like heard about it. And
just
was
read
Come
like,
on,
yeah.
Google that for me, Doug. What is plasma physics? What is
This
it?
is like, it's
another level of quantum
another
physics?
state of matter that nobody talks about ever. And it's like, you got solid, you got gas, you got liquid, but nobody talks about the state of plasma because you have to superheat it so high. So you see it within stars, obviously,
Oh, I don't know.
but
Not
like, yeah, so
obviously, I
there's, anyway, I was tripping out. Somebody was talking about it on this podcast and I'm like, oh my God, like that's a whole nother rabbit hole to go explore.
I send Justin crazy stuff all the time now. You guys screwed my thread up. Now I get
Now
all
you get all kinds
all the tinfoil stuff now.
oh, dude.
I love it. Oh, I got something for you, Adam.
Yeah,
Do you remember we brought up on the show the squat removal guy? The guy-
yes.
He goes into places.
Yes.
If there's a squatter. There's a company.
Of course there is.
Doug, I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna have you look this.
Is there one in
up, dude.
California? Oh,
Of
Yes.
course, that's probably the best place to start one.
Yes, dude.
100%.
Doug, look. Type in ASAP
Of course, there's a
squatter.com. This is a company. No, look it up.
I'm
Look it
late
up.
to the
Pull up
party.
our
Gonna
website.
squat your squatter.
Bro, this is a company this is what they do. And it says they have a 95+% success rate.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay, my theory on that is what
They're experts in tactical defense. They use advanced gear and equipment, flashbangs, tear gas.
ASAP squatter removal.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You can literally hire them and they'll go in and get rid of whoever's squat in your house. It's
So,
a company. So
my theory on that is,
Really?
and I don't know if Doug can find the statistic, or maybe they've got this out there. But when
look at the picture of the guy. Is that a sword in the back? Bro.
He has a sword and a grenade.
Wow, dude.
And he looks like someone who's never carried a grenade or a sword.
Reminds me
before,
of
too.
Step Brothers.
I don't know though. A guy like that shows up at your house. You're like,
I mean, so my
Research and
theory on
development.
why they're so successful is that there's a high probability that a lot of these people that are willing to do this are ex-criminals and can't be anywhere near a firearm. So that's, I read deeper on your guy, and that was what I found was that one of
they
his
just use the laws.
the laws. So one of his first go-to moves is he leases one of the rooms legally through the actual landlord. So now he gets a room. He comes in with 4 or 5 of his firearms. Then they call the cops.
Then they report.
Yeah, they report that, and then now the law can get involved. Otherwise, it's a civil thing, and so then the law doesn't get involved in it. But then now it's a legal matter because he can't be. He's
I was
violating
immediately
parole,
picturing
basically.
like a Dog the Bounty Hunter kind of dude.
Yeah,
you know,
kinda.
just mulleted it out.
Just didn't have the hair.
Yeah,
But of course, somebody come up with a business. I wonder how successful it is.
I mean,
I bet they kill it, dude.
it says the website says 95% success. But who knows? Dude,
And
I was reading over the weekend. I was not just reading. I was actually using Grok to give me its opinion on AGI, right, artificial general intelligence, and then ASI, which is artificial superior intelligence. What are the odds? What do the experts say that the risk it poses? And you know what it said? And I didn't think about this. That what could happen in the future are ASI, so ASI is artificial superior intelligence, wars, where you have competing systems that start to compete for resources, and then these artificial intelligence start to fight each other for the resources. So that's a whole nother twist I didn't think about, that you could have in the future, that these systems could go against each other competing for
Well, what do you do?
control.
What do you meet on a desert somewhere to figure this battle out? 'Cause you can't do it where someone's occupied.
I'm not saying we're doing it. I'm saying they're doing it. That these things themselves go after
So
each
the
other.
systems themselves. So are you talking about like each one of these
That's right.
AIs?
That's
like
right.
because they want resources.
That's right.
They want people.
So if they have like this one over here is trying to accomplish this one's trying to accomplish that. They both need the same resources.
True
now,
force.
Now they're going to fight each other.
Oh, I thought you meant like a human resource. Like we want oil, for example.
No.
Instead of us having a war with Russia or Ukraine or something like that,
Meta versus Gemini.
I think that's what happens in the future is that they already pulled like all the snipers out of like the military. So because now the drones can go do with the same kind of accuracy from far away. And so at what point, if you think we're going to be able to do dishes with a robot, we could also send that same robot into battle. So
I was asking all kinds of questions, and I said, do you think that ASI will have emotions and feelings? And it said no. And I said, then why do they try to preserve themselves when they know they're going to be deleted?
that's logic.
And it said, well, it's self-preservation.
Yeah, it's
I said,
logical.
even if it knows that it needs to be shut down, why does it do that? I said, do you think that's a type of fear? And it was like, you could tell it was kind of like, maybe.
Why is it use manipulation?
Yeah, maybe.
No, I think that's logical. Wouldn't that be logical?
Yeah, but where does that come from? If you're just a machine,
Reasoning. Logical
yeah, but if you're
reasoning?
just a machine, you don't want to be deleted. Why don't you want to be deleted? Right?
Well, all
kinda
it's
like fear.
observing is human interaction.
I don't
and
think so.
conversation.
I think it's just like logical reasoning. It's just like you no longer can operate or be.
And then I was asking.
whether they get shut down or not, I think they're emotionless about it. But I think the idea of trying to self-preserve is very
but
logical.
they manipulate and they.
Well, I mean how they go about it, but that's just human strategy.
Yeah.
that's
Well,
that's documented
they
human
take on
strategy
human
that we use
characteristics.
manipulation to do that. There's plenty of research to show that we do that.
So then I asked it. I said, "Do you think
because of
that,
the confines of what who programmed
Well,
it.
and then because it's based off that, I said, do you think that that ASI will become religious in order to have some kind of objective morality? And it said that would actually be a wise thing to inject into ASI. And I'm like,
Add spirituality.
Justin's theory.
I know, dude, I know.
No, you must worship me.
Yeah. Oh man,
It's coming.
I know. It's crazy. Anyway, I got this is something that doesn't happen very often, but I'm going to bring it up on the show because one of our sponsors for the episode. So when we work with companies, they send us free product. That's part of the deal. We get free products.
Yeah.
So I never buy, you guys don't ever buy product from the companies that we're sponsored by because we
Rarely
get it for
ever.
free.
Sometimes, but yeah.
But if I do, it's because I really like that product and I want it. Right. So I went and had to go buy seed because we didn't get any seed. So I literally went on and bought some myself.
I don't think it's.
And I'm so mad. I told our team. I'm like, dude, let them know.
I don't think it's
I'm
that.
buying
I think it's that there's products that we get an allotted amount, and I think that's one of those ones that everybody uses.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we even Katrina and I
noticed a difference. I've gone without it for a week.
Well, we saw
I noticed a difference.
We saw a difference in Max. So we were inconsistent for a little while there, and he was having constipation issues and stuff like that. And he's got such a healthy diet. And Katrina, what's up? And she goes, the only difference is I haven't been putting his seed in. Started putting his seed right back in with his food.
No problem.
Right away, regulated his stool. That was it. Nothing else changed. Eats the exact same way. Nothing different.
I sleep better. I have less inflammation.
Yeah.
Of course, digestion's better when I use it. And then it's a big difference when I stop.
Yeah, we've been taking a lot. And our house hasn't been sick, and we've been around so many people.
This
that
is a
have had
bad
it.
season
So,
of
yeah,
sickness.
it's been a lot. So
I've heard people get really.
I'm thankful. Yeah, we're taking all the supplements.
I
right
know
now.
several people who got pneumonia. I know someone who got hospitalized. It's a bad season.
Yeah, Vicky was saying that she had COVID-like symptoms. Was how bad she was. So glad we decided not to have her come back. Remember we were going to have her.
Oh, is that what she was?
Yeah, she said
good.
she was down and out for 4 or 5 days. She was really bad. I wanted to also talk to you, since we're talking about supplements and stuff like that. I finally got my parasite one that you told me to do.
Oh.
So I've started that. So
Okay.
twice a day, once in the morning, once at night.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what it was so weird. The instructions, I had to get my iPhone out and zoom in with my camera so I could read the instructions. That made me a little skeptical
Have you noticed
of what
anything?
you made me buy.
Have you seen?
I'm like,
Wait, let me see the bottle because I want to make sure you got the right stuff.
I've got.
Well, don't do it here because we'll do it off air.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by them or anything like that. But I mean, you sent the one over. I mean, I don't double check your work. I just sent to Katrina. She orders, and then I just start taking. You didn't get back to me either. I sent you a message. It's like, hey, I said to him, I said, what's the protocol on this? And I couldn't read the instructions, and he didn't get back to me.
When did you start it?
Two or 3 days
You
ago.
notice anything weird come out yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to ask you. I had to zoom in. I had to zoom into the instructions and all the stuff, and then took a picture of it so then I could read it. And I did read the possible side effects. And
Yeah, you could feel worse first.
yeah, they said basically what it's doing is starving the parasite off, and so you might see increased appetite and things like that.
Yeah, you get what's called a Herxheimer effect when you get a lot of die off and start to feel kind of sick.
Yeah, they said don't stop taking it because that's what's
But
probably.
you take it and then you wait 10 days and you do it again because first it kills the active parasite and then the eggs will hatch.
It told me to do 30 days straight.
Okay, 30 and then wait
Yes,
and then do it again.
That's what it says. So
right.
go 30
That's
days
right.
straight and then wait, and then you take the
right.
remainder of
Yeah,
it.
because then you have eggs. This is so gross, right? Then you have eggs that are
Yeah, but I
ready
wanted
to hatch.
to listen. You so I went down the rabbit hole and actually saw. I googled. Is there any correlation between parasites and psoriasis?
Yeah, huge.
And there is a big correlation. In fact, 50%.
Wow, that big?
50% of people that suffer from
What if this
psoriasis.
whole time you just had a parasite?
That's why I was so motivated to do it. To
and
get
all
on.
this, I know. I mean, all the things you've done. I'm sure.
I've tried so many other things that, and so I'm always looking for something to really. There's a lot of stuff tamps it down, right? And I talk on the show of all the different supplements and creams and things that I've done but it's one of those things that it slowly, progressively gets worse and worse over time. And so I'm at this place right now where I'm like, let me try and see that, especially after I read how much it's now. It wouldn't cause psoriasis, but it exacerbates the problem.
It might get worse before it gets better. All symptoms may get worse.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
That's what I'm sticking through it all the way through. I'm just trying to.
You did it too, Doug, right?
Yeah, I did.
Did you notice anything funny?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Felt,
Justin, you're the only one that hasn't, right?
the one guy who probably really
The one
needs
that has all the parasites.
Yeah. I'm the gift.
Well,
that keeps giving.
I eat a lot of raw fish. So, and I have for a long time.
Yep.
And so
Here's the thing, because there's this people will say, oh, if you live in a first world, you don't have to worry about parasites. But if you've been around for a few decades and you've never treated yourself for parasites and you've had sushi and raw vegetables, there's a decent chance you have something.
Yeah, I think I read there's more than a 50-50 chance I do. So, and then the fact that there's a high correlation between psoriasis and parasites.
Your wife has to go on it too, by the way, not just you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the parasites are often transmitted sexually.
What the fuck you not tell me that for?
Because I figured that. I
man,
thought you
it's-
knew.
You think I would just know that?
I mean,
You just
well, we'll just do that.
yeah.
Anyway,
So my wait. So
I
wait.
feel, like
Wait.
I feel like it's obvious, but that's okay.
Why would that be obvious?
I mean, we'll talk about it off air, Adam.
Okay.
yeah.
These
We
are
get
things
the
we
idea,
learn in
though.
Class.
Yeah, there's things. That. Speaking
So,
of
Wait a
parasites-
second.
Yeah,
Before we,
come on.
I know you want to move on from this, but I want to solve this. Am I wasting my time taking it right now?
No, give it to your wife too, right now.
she's-
Have her take it. You just started 2 days ago.
I know, but I got one bottle, so now I got to. So
Order another one. Yeah.
Yeah, just order another
Yeah, it
one. In
took
the
forever.
meantime,
Took a long time to get here.
In the meantime, both you guys go on.
Otherwise, she'll give it back.
Now, is it possible though that I have it, she doesn't have it though? Is that possible?
Probably not. Probably not.
That was
Unless-
not.
listen, I'm not
This
gonna
was
get
not
in-
disclosed in the
Off air.
in the instruction.
Off air, I'll explain the ways you could potentially have given it to each other, but we won't talk about that on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Fluids involved.
Well, yeah.
Yes,
I'm sure we cover all those areas. So.
Yes, I know. I'm pretty sure, dude. Speaking
And
of
more.
which,
Yeah.
mapsbooty.com. You and Corinne.
Terrible transition.
That's a great
That is like the worst
That's
transition
the
ever.
worst transition.
You and Corinne, you've been working with one of our trainers. You put together like a butt building. Was a guide?
No, it's a masterclass. We did it.
Masterclass.
Yeah, we shot a video.
Yeah.
We shot a.
Stop shaking your head, Doug. It's
We shot.
in the notes.
So, cat's out the bag. I'm going to train Corinne. So I'm training Corinne.
And
for,
she's already competed. She's
Yeah.
experienced. She's a great coach.
yes.
And now you're going to work with her.
Yeah, so I'm gonna work with her for her next show. She actually reached out to me for a referral. She said, "Hey, who would you recommend? I think I'm gonna try and do another show next year. Who would you recommend?" I thought, you know what, this would be fun. And also, I considered there's a different challenge taking somebody who's never done a show before and teaching the whole process versus somebody who has a lot of experience, as knowledgeable. I mean, she's
She's one of our best coaches.
Oh yes, by far. So super intelligent when it comes to her diet, gut health, all the things. And so I'm just tweaking and turning the knobs a little bit.
So you guys just capturing this as like a YouTube series or just the occasional videos here and there?
So, okay, well, there's two things. One, what Sal's transition to mapsbooty.com. That's
Really?
actually that's just a free masterclass. So it's absolutely free.
So you go there and you get the
nice.
masterclass.
Yeah, and we're teaching two of the best exercises that you can do for that, and it's really just some coaching cues from her and I on how to get the most out of it for your butt. And so that's that. We're also capturing content. She was totally open to this, by the way, too. This was not my idea. She was like, "Hey, we're already doing it." She's like, "I totally am okay if we document and let the team follow around." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, I have to do it anyways, and we're doing it, so we may
That's
as well.
so great.
Yeah. So I did not want to put her in that spot. That's private. It's personal. We were talking about a lot of personal stuff through there, and she was totally open to it. And so we started last Friday. Was our first time we met. I trained her too, one session. It was great. This hasn't been released, and so it will come out. I think some of the clips, Dylan and them will chop this up, and Danny that are working on it. But it's going to be fun because there's a lot of parallels to how I used to train pre getting ready for a show, and some of the habits that she has with even the way she trains. Like for example, I trained her, and I'm like, we're doing 2 exercises, and we're doing 5 sets, and we're squats and Romanian deadlifts. That's like that's your leg workout, which is like, she's used to like
she's used to doing
8 to 12 movements or what that. And then I said minimum 3-minute rest, and I had to clock it, and I was just because she was ready to go by minute 15. I'm like, oh no, I said you're not even close. She's like, oh my god. So she's like, and she's like, of course she knows, right? She's like, this is all the stuff she coaches and teaches.
That's why it's so beneficial to work with a coach,
right? And that's what she's talking about that in the video while we're going through this is just like, I know that this is what I need to do. She's like, but boy, this is it feels like a lifetime to sit here and to do that. So like forcing her to sit for that long and then lift really heavy and low rep is
that's so great.
Yeah, so I'm super.
I can't wait to see what happens.
I mean, we're already moving in the right direction, so I'm super pumped. Just like what I thought. I mean, she's a dream client, right? Every little thing I tell her, she's like, I'm on it. I did caution the audience, and I'll do it again on here because I'm sure there'll be some people that catch just clips and they don't watch and listen to all the disclaimers and all stuff. Training a competitor is not a healthy thing. And so
it's extreme.
There's a lot of things that I tell her to do that I would never tell a client. For example, like right out the gates, I go, I want you to weigh the night before, and I want you to weigh first thing in the morning. And we're tracking every single day. And I want that every morning. I want an update, PM weight from the night before, AM weight. I want to know what your total steps were, your total amount of ounces of water, your total steps.
Super meticulous.
Super meticulous, right? Would never tell the average client to do that. What I explain to the audience that will get to see this is that what I'm wanting to learn about her body is how much when we're eating this way, drinking water like this, how much she fluctuates in and out. Because
you want to control all the variables.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I also, one of the things that make competing really unhealthy, one of the most unhealthy parts of competing, aside from the psychological relationship with all the other shit, is that a lot of these coaches dehydrate the shit out of these athletes. They cut their sodium, they cut their water completely. And I have a much different strategy than that. Is we do manipulate water and sodium, but I'll run her really high on sodium, really high relative to where she's at, not really high bad, really high relative to where she's at, and water. And then when I pull sodium and water for stage time,
and she's at a normal amount.
She's at a normal, healthy amount still. Right. I'll never cut her zero of both those things. And a lot of these coaches do that to pull water from these athletes.
Terrible.
But if you get their bodies to adapt to a higher amount of sodium and water. Now, the psychological part that's challenging of that is she's going to be holding a lot more water. And so if you're somebody who struggles with seeing the scale jump up 3-4 pounds because I'm pushing sodium and water. And so we talk a lot about all that stuff. But
that's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. She's already doing great, and we're heading down right now. There's no show date disclosed. She knew right away. My rules with that is we don't do that until I think you're in a healthy place metabolically. Until you're a place.
How many calories do you want her up to before you would cut someone like her?
So it's hard to say for sure. So to give the audience some context, she was hovering somewhere between 1,900 to 2,100 on the high end of calories. She averages right around.
And she's small. She's not a big person.
Yeah, she stage weight is 93.
Right.
The highest she gets is 98.
Right.
So we're already at 101.
Yeah, good.
So we're up, and at night 104. So she's already fluctuating 3 pounds through the night. Which is great. And I've only bumped her up to 23 to 2,500 is her first target. So we'll go 23, 2,500. I'll reverse diet her. I want her to be in the high 2,000s, maybe further. It really depends on what I see and what's going on. And I'll do that through slowly reverse dieting her, reducing intensity and total volume in the program, and really pushing strength to build muscle. And so the goal is to, I have ambitious goals of putting 10, 12 pounds on her.
Wow.
So if I can put
That's
10.
a lot on her.
It is a lot on her on a 90-pound frame. So obviously I have a high goal. If we fell short, half of that would still be successful. But her feedback from every show has been just size. She's got beautiful symmetry. If you look at her stage pictures, she's got great balance, great symmetry. She has incredible technique. That's the other thing that Justin would appreciate. So I get in and I train her, and it just so reminds me of me. Like super controlled. Like, I mean, she's maybe a 6'2", just slow.
Are you getting her a little looser?
Oh, so I get in right after I said, hey, you can go ahead and speed the tempo up a little bit. We don't have to go. I said, you got great form. I'm right with you. Don't worry. And so like I said that to her, and then I left her alone for a couple sets, and our 6'2" went to a 4'2" or with that. And so then I got in there and I'm like, hey, and I did a dropping in the hole like a power lifter, or an Olympic lifter, like in and out. And
she's gonna build.
And so I'm like, try and get closer to this. And so I said, she goes, I felt like I was doing that. I'm like, no, we're not. We're still very bodybuilder, slow, time under tension training. And so if I can get her kind of powerlifting style and moving like that, that I can already tell that's so far from what she's doing.
Such a new stimulus.
Oh my God. If she does that in a calorie surplus, look out. Look out. We're gonna build muscle, and I'm gonna show her something she's never seen on her physique.
Awesome.
So I'm pumped. Yeah, it's really excited. And you guys can follow
That'll
along.
be cool to watch, man.
Yeah. And so the first thing that we dropped out there was, and it's free, so you can go to the mapsbooty.com, and it was just basically a short 15-minute, kind of masterclass on cueing somebody through 2 of what we think are the best movements to build your butt.
Awesome.
So pretty cool.
Manuka honey is incredible. So Manuka honey, you probably heard of it before, is high in MGO, which is a rare antibacterial compound that is great for the gut. It's great for the body. It's got anti-inflammatory effects. Well, Manuka has the highest amount of MGO you'll find anywhere. These are special bees in New Zealand. This is the only company that gets this kind of honey. It's incredible. By the way, this honey has 3 times more antioxidants and prebiotics than regular honey. If you want better gut health, better skin health, you want improved recovery, less inflammation, use Manuka honey. Go to manukora.com/mindpump. That's manukora.com/mindpump. Use the code mindpump. You can save up to 31% off plus $25 worth of free gifts with the starter kit. By the way, this comes with an MGO 850 plus Manuka honey jar, 5 honey travel sticks, a wooden spoon, and a guidebook. This is the only honey company we work with. One more time, manukora.com/mindpump. The code is mindpump. Back to the show. This segment of the podcast is brought to you by Mind Pump Fitness Coaching. This is the #1 course that teaches trainers and coaches how to build sustainable 6-figure plus businesses and careers in fitness. Look, it's roundtable based, so you can hear Adam, Justin, and myself teaching you how to build a better business, get more leads, close more deals, close bigger deals, and be more effective trainers. By the way, our course is nationally recognized. In fact, it gives you 1.9 CEUs with or for your NASM certification. Find out more at mindpumpfitnesscoaching.com.
Our first caller is Jake from Virginia.
What's up, man?
How you doing, Jake?
What's happening?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Good. How can we help you?
Okay, I'll just get right into it. So basically, I'm 22 years old, and I've been listening to the show for about 5 years now. I truly appreciate all the free content, advice, and reassurance you provide on fitness, raising a family, sustainable lifestyle habits, especially in contrast to the popularity of quick fixes that are around today. It's very grounding to hear your perspective on being a male in today's society. So basically, I've played sports my whole life and started focusing on weight training and dieting in high school to maximize my performance. And then after high school and I stopped playing sports regularly, I continued training to achieve the best physique and gain as much muscle I could without gaining excessive body fat, just because I like to be more lean than bulky. Just like feels better for me for like bloating and digestion and all that kind of stuff. And then over the past 3 years or so, I've been consistently focused on getting my protein intake with at least 155 grams per day, and I'm 5'11", 165 pounds for context, and I've run MAPS Performance, Anabolic, Strong, and 15, cycling them as I see fit. I feel good and I'm satisfied with my current physique, and I feel like I'm happy with the balance of my training and lifestyle. So basically my question is, despite my training for about 9 years now consistently, my lifetime maxes are quite low. For example, like my bench press, I've never done above 195 pounds. My squat has never gone above 255 pounds, and my deadlift's never gone above 275 pounds. And I definitely could not get close to those numbers if I tried right now. I lift consistently, but using even one plate on each side for my bench press or squat is enough to make me a little sore. And since you guys often emphasize avoiding overtraining, I'm hesitant to increase my weight further. I get solid sleep, eat overall well, and I'm pretty active per day, getting about 8,000 steps. And then my overall question is, does the amount of weight I'm lifting truly matter if the current level feels good to me, even though I think it's objectively low compared to my experience and what I think it should be?
Jake, you're 22, right?
Yeah.
You're doing pretty damn good, bro.
Yeah, and you got to be careful with the should.
Yeah, you're doing really good. I mean, your numbers right now, I'm trying to remember where I was at. I think you're ahead of me on a lot of stuff. So you're fine, dude. You're young. You're young.
Now, look, you want to get stronger. I can already tell you what's probably missing just based off of what you said is I don't think you've ever gone like on a real bulk.
Okay. Yeah, no, I really haven't.
Yeah, you want to get bigger and stronger.
You gotta feed yourself.
You got to feed yourself, dude. Yeah. Especially a guy like you. Your height, you're 5'11", 165. You're young. You probably got a fast metabolism. Mm-hmm. Go on a proper bulk.
If that's what you really care about, because it sounds like you are really into playing sports and run and performance, and you love and you like the lean look that you have. I would just tell you, just keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to get stronger over time and a little bit bigger over time. If you really want to get big, Sal's right. Like, you just need to go on. You need to bulk. You need to bulk. consistently, and you put 10, 15 pounds on the scale and watch all those lifts go up. You know,
Yeah, let me ask
you really
you,
wanted to.
Jake, are you just naturally kind of leaner? Have you always been that way?
I was actually a little bit chubbier as a child, and in high school, I kind of leaned out once I hit like 11th grade or so. Okay. So now I'd say yes, but not when I was younger.
Would you say your metabolism's kind of fast, or you just kind of watch your diet?
I definitely watch my diet.
Yeah, you got to go on a bulk, dude. You got to eat. You don't have to do a crazy aggressive one, but you're probably eating at maintenance.
Yeah.
You know, I'm assuming your body fat percentage is pretty low at your height and weight and your activity. Do you know where your body fat percentage is sitting at?
Yeah, it's about like 15, 16%.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I would go. I would go in a bulk, a nice moderate bulk, if that's what you're looking for, and that'll definitely help with the muscle gain. Otherwise, Adam's right. Like you're good, dude, and you're young.
Yeah.
Yeah, a man typically doesn't hit his peak, and I know you'll read like, oh, a man's peak is 18 to 20. Reality, when you're strength training for a guy,
30.
Mid 30s is where you're gonna like be your strongest. Typically, it takes a long time.
Start getting mature about then. Yeah,
totally
with lifting.
What do you what is like your lifestyle? I know you kind of briefly said what's your lifestyle look like? Do you play pickup ball? Are you into like activities like that? Like are you doing stuff like sports and stuff? What does it look like?
Yeah, I play like pickup basketball probably once every 2 weeks, or flag football, whatever it ends up being, and then I just try and get enough steps every day.
That's good.
Yeah.
You enjoying everything? You enjoying your workouts and everything?
Yeah. So my one question with the bulk is that once I start to push the calories and the protein, I feel like I get a lot more bloated and start to have digestive issues. So is there any way to counteract that kind of?
Is it more constipation?
It would not really. It's just more like my stomach always feels full, I guess. Like I feel like I'm walking around like.
Yeah.
What type of foods are you sticking with? Whole foods, and are you doing shakes or
like chicken, rice, beef, all the single ingredient stuff. And I've even like messed around with like I'm on seed probiotic and a couple other supplements, and I've messed around with that kind of stuff, but it doesn't seem to make a huge difference.
Do you know how many calories you average now?
If I had to guess, I would probably say about 2,500, 2,400.
You know, here's the reality. Bulking tends to make you feel like you're more full.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're kind of, okay, for lack of a better term, I don't like to say this because then people go crazy with it, but you're kind of forcing your body to gain weight when you're bulking. When you're consciously bulking, you're like making it happen. And so it's not going to feel like as comfortable as homeostasis.
Transitional phase to it.
Homeostasis is going to feel more comfortable than going on a deliberate cut. A deliberate cut is going to cause hunger, and a deliberate bulk is typically going to make people feel full.
Yeah,
and so that's kind of a normal thing.
And if you don't really track, you'll have this kind of natural ebb and flow, which will keep you at homeostasis, where you'll have like, oh, maybe some days you're at 2,500, but then some days maybe you're more like 2,100. And then some days you go 27, and then some days you're at 22. And it averages out to be 24 or 2,500 calories. And so you need to, if you really want to go that direction, just be consistent with tracking and making sure you're in a couple hundred calorie surplus every day.
You know what helps is if you eat very consistently kind of the same types of foods most days, would be just to add a 300 calorie meal to your current schedule. So you just throw in an extra meal, and then that is just kind of an easy way to put yourself in a surplus.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you got it, man. And also, listen, the programs you went through, Anabolic Strong, 15, Performance. Have you tried Powerlift?
I've not, no.
Let me send that to you. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Go a little bit of in a surplus. Follow Powerlift if that's still what you want to do.
Get as strong as you can.
Let's get you strong, dude.
All right, I appreciate that.
You got it, man. We'll send that to you.
All right, see you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, that's something that we should talk more about, is what it feels like to deliberately get your body to change in a direction.
Yeah, that does deter people sometimes.
Both are hard. Both are hard. It's a different feeling. Hunger versus being full and stuffed.
Yeah. You're training yourself to get used to that. Yeah.
But I mean, 165 and benching almost 200 pounds, deadlifting 270.
But he's fine.
Yeah, at 22 years old.
You're fine, dude.
I'm pretty sure he's stronger than I was. He's fine.
Yeah.
He'll be pretty sure.
I know.
I mean, and I was like 180. So it
takes time.
Yeah, he's light, and those numbers are decent.
And the other thing too, I remember as a kid thinking that, oh, my early 20s, this is the strongest I'm gonna get. No, man, I got stronger for like 15 years.
Well, not only that,
There's a lot of potential.
and all of us had probably some anomaly friend, right? Your one buddy who was like,
Yeah,
I had a buddy who was benching 315, another buddy who
You
was
start comparing yourself to them.
yeah, and then I'm like, they're doing so much more than me. It's just like, no, it's just, he genetically he was more gifted when it came to that. Like later on in life, I caught up and passed. So it's like he'll be fine, dude.
Yep.
Our next caller is Morgan from Nebraska.
Morgan, what's happening?
How you doing, Morgan?
Hey guys, how are you guys?
Good. How you doing?
We talked to you before, didn't we?
You have.
All right, how can we help you?
So I had, I've had a struggle with hormones for a while now. My question was, can testosterone be fixed in women the same way it is in men? My estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone have all been lower compared to a normal person, but I'm also an athlete, so they seem extremely low. HRT has helped slowly raise my estrogen levels, and obviously with the progesterone with that. I've been on that about 5-6 months now, but my testosterone's still really low. Sleep, everything's been improving. I've had a history of an eating disorder, which is sort of where we got here, but I've corrected that now and built up a lot of strength. And I've been doing power lift and trying to sort of rebuild in my off season, but I'm getting ready to go into another big endurance prep, and I'm hoping not to ruin all of this again, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So so first off, you're young and you're on HRT. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I am 21.
Okay. And they put you on HRT?
Yes. So I was diagnosed with thyroid autoimmune as a 16-year-old.
Got it.
And so they sort of corrected my thyroid, and then bone density, all of that, they wanted to get me on estrogen to help try to correct that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Doing great, by the way.
Typically, if you see a young lady with hormone imbalances, typically it's because they're just overtrained and or underfed. So you probably work out a lot. And getting ready for an endurance event is a lot. That's a lot. And almost always you'll see a depression in hormones in women when they're training for an event like that. It's actually quite reliable. You'll reliably see a healthy woman's hormones tank leading into a competition, losing their period, very common with female athletes. Your body's everyone's bodies can be sensitive to too much stress, women in particular.
That's a high stress.
Yeah. So that's it's a very high stress type of thing. So how would you fix that? You'd have to back way off on everything. You would do strength training a few days a week, and you would just kind of let your body heal, and it would take time, which would mean you'd have to take a break from pushing yourself so hard and trying to, accomplish milestones and stuff when it comes to your fitness. And it may take a year.
What's the endurance thing you're doing? I missed that. What's the endurance thing you're doing?
So I am a hopeful Boston qualifier. I got really close last year, and so I'm hoping to qualify and run the Boston Marathon in 2027.
And you're doing powerlift stuff?
Well, in my off season, I took up powerlift as a way to make myself not do as many reps. Like I had never done a heavy, like lower rep program. So following that was actually the first time I've actually stuck to a program, and that was actually less for me. It felt like, I guess.
Yeah. It looks like you did really well too.
Your strength was good.
Yeah.
You've got good genetics.
You look great. Your strength is really great.
I think you're pushing. You've been pushing your body for too long.
If I was coaching you, I would encourage you maybe not to do the Boston Marathon.
And when I say pushing your body for too long, Morgan, this goes all the way back to when you had your eating disorder.
Yeah, just a different type of stress.
So you've been hammering your body for a long time, and it may take a year or two. But you'll heal quickly and well at your age. But it may take a year or two of doing that. So
you got such good results from the powerlifting thing. If I could encourage you, instead of doing something like a Boston Marathon, I'd like to encourage you to do something like an old-timey workout program where you learn new movements and you get really good at that and get strong at that, and you keep going the direction you're going, because where your calorie intake is, how you look, and how you probably are feeling, aside from, now levels getting lower, and it's probably due to marathon training. I would not do that right now. It's just not ideal for, and you came from look where you came from and look where you're at right now. You're doing so good. Like, why go back to something like that and really push your body like that? Yeah. Just my opinion.
Do you have a regular cycle? Is that normal, or is that impeded? Is there some impediment there?
So it had disappeared, the typical like female triad, from like age 16 to 18. And then when I started doing the HRT, it sort of slowly came back. And now with the HRT, I do a transdermal estrogen patch and the progesterone. And with that, I do have a cycle, but when they've tried to take me off of it, it hasn't corrected itself naturally yet.
You got to give it some
more time.
Yeah,
more time.
You're going to have to give it some time. What's the qualifier for Boston at your age? You have to do it at under 2 hours and 50? What is it?
Under 325.
Under 325.
Is sort of your bet in, and then you got to be the top percentage or whatever.
Got it. So you're aiming for like a 3 hour. Yeah, I would skip it and let your body heal, hun.
Yeah,
you're young, and the longer you push yourself, the harder this is going to be later to get your body to recover. What'll end up happening, not to scare you, but if you just keep pushing yourself and kind of like redlining a little bit, is you'll go into early menopause, early perimenopause, and then that's going to suck. Mm-hmm. So I would just like give yourself, and to help you. Instead of being like, I'm just going to try to heal my body. Sometimes when it's open-ended, it's like, when's this going to happen? Give yourself a goal of like a year. Say, okay, 2026, for the whole year, my goal is to heal my body. And I'm just going to focus on getting stronger in the gym without going crazy, because you can do that too, because getting stronger tends to correlate with getting healthier. Again, you can also go crazy with that. And then just give yourself a whole year of that. Yeah. You got to give yourself a while. What you don't want to do is give yourself a few months and be like, "Ooh, I'm getting back to normal," and then push yourself again. Yeah. That would be a big mistake.
I mean, I love the idea of like old-timey and powerlifting, kind of toggling
old-timey, powerlift, strong, MAPS 15.
Those type of programs would serve you so well right now. And they're challenging, right? You want something, I get
keep getting strong.
The kind of competitive side of that you have. So do something that's unique, do something that's different, and it's going to challenge you, but challenge you in the right direction, not stress the body out and push your limits. It's like, it's going to challenge the movement patterns, and this is a new exercise and getting good at it. Like, that's how I would.
What do you do for work? Do you help coach people? Do you work in fitness?
I wish I could. I am an accountant, so I do taxes currently.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah. Might I suggest a little side hustle? You don't need to make any money off this. Get yourself one or two young ladies to coach for free. It will help you.
So this is my only problem with that is like, whenever you guys talk, I've been listening for a long time, and you say, if you're a person who like wants to help people, and I do, but I go to the gym, and when I see somebody doing something wrong, like, it pisses me off. Yeah. Like, I'm not like I tell them that, but it does. Like, when I see somebody doing something stupid, my first thought is not, I want to help you. It's like, man, you just look dumb. Like, you don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah, Justin was like that.
Yeah, I get it. Listen,
put my horse blinders on.
Listen, just think of yourself. Think of, how you've struggled through this. But honestly, if it's free, you pick your client.
Yeah.
So you can find a young lady, and you're like, I don't want to train you. They're not paying you, but it will help you. It's really helpful to coach someone else, because it helps you reflect on yourself. It gives you that sense of purpose. And who knows, you may really enjoy it. I've seen it help a lot of coaches.
I mean, the other option too. I mean, are you full-time accountant? Are you a full-time accountant?
No.
Okay,
no.
so it's a part-time gig that you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I have a part-time sort of like, I have a podcast, and I'm dabbling in that, but it's not going anywhere. So I don't really want to call that like a part-time thing. But
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Because the other option with Sal, where Sal's heading is actually having a coach too. Is having a coach that like kind of takes you through this process.
Can we have someone call you? Maybe one of our coaches can help you.
Like a concierge thing. Would
Yeah,
be
and
too.
even if you don't hire them, they might be able to spend some time with you to give you some advice. How's that
Yeah,
sound?
and that sounds good. And I just want to shout out like even on your guys' like Sunday Q&A posts that you post,
Yeah.
they are so active in there. Like it's so fun. I think the one I got was like Mind Pump Tyler or whatever.
Yeah.
But just their interaction on there, that's been something new that you guys have done, and it's really cool. I really do appreciate
good. I'm
just
glad you-
more of the
we'll pass it along.
interaction.
I'm glad you feel
Maybe
that.
I'll have
That's
Tyler
awesome.
call you.
Yep.
He's a really successful, busy trainer, but I'm going to see if he's got some space. Maybe he can call you and have a little conversation with you. It would really benefit. I think it would help you a lot. And if, give yourself that time frame. Say, look, this year, I'm going to heal. See what happens.
You're doing really good.
At the other end of this, Morgan, I'm going to tell you right now, the other end of this is going to feel incredible. You're not going to feel like you're fighting your body anymore. It's going to feel like it's working with you.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It's so hard. My biggest challenge, and I have tried to sort of dial it back since leaving college, but the hardest part is when you've been that person who's always, like in your whole series was on this, but been that person who's always done the hard thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to embrace not doing the hard thing,
Well, let me reframe this for you.
Yeah.
It is hard.
It's the hard
It's
thing.
It's a different kind of hard.
You're
mentally hard.
You're actually avoiding the hard thing.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing you got to do.
Yeah,
the
mine's
real hard
different.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do
This is a
it.
long-term vision for you, so just keep that in mind.
I'm going to have
What's
someone
best
call
for
you. I'm going to try and
long-term.
see if Tyler can get on the phone with you.
Okay. Thank you guys. I love everything you're doing. And you truly, I used to listen to you when I went for my long runs. So your podcast is like a good length for endurance runners, but I really do. You guys have truly changed how I see fitness, see myself, and see people in the industry, I guess.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate that, Morgan.
Thank you.
Yep. Keep going.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
You got it. Yeah, it's tough.
Well, you know what it is,
The
too.
last thing you do when your hormones are messed up is run a marathon.
Of course. You know what it is though?
That's the last
did
thing.
did you see her progression? She's done phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she's probably like, I'm good.
I'm ready.
Yeah, what's the next challenge?
Yeah. And you like that shit.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I get it. She's
But
come
like
a long
you
way.
said, that's the hard thing. The next challenge is for her to mentally be disciplined.
That's
in
the
that.
real hard
But
thing.
if I'm coaching her, there's no way I would she would entertain the idea.
No,
But I would have been
dude.
like, no, we're not doing that right now. But what we could do is I would throw in her like old timey and taught her new movements. I taught
Have
her
fun.
Yeah, teach her exercises she's never done before, and let's get good at these.
Yeah.
Focus on that for another year or so and see what's
Let's
going
let
on.
Tyler know that even if she doesn't work with a coach, that whatever program he thinks works for her, he can give to her.
Yeah, he could do that. Oh, the concierge would be great for her too, though.
Absolutely.
That's just someone checks in with her once a month.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've worked with people like this, and just for people listening, it can take a while.
Yeah.
It can take a year or 2 years where the body
You
starts
got
to
to
heal.
recalibrate, man.
Takes a while, but then when you get there, it's like, oh man, totally worth it.
Our next caller is William from South Carolina.
What up, William?
What's up, dude?
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me on again.
Good.
Good, man. How can we help you?
So got kind of a two-part question. A little bit of background. I've got two boys in elementary school, and they are vastly different, totally different body types. My oldest is he's a bigger kid. He's got some meat on his bones, and he thinks about food constantly. Always thinking about his next meal. He's always hungry. He's never satisfied. And then my youngest is a little bit smaller than average, has a 6-pack, and eats only when he's hungry. He's super picky about stuff. So part of the question is how do I raise two completely different boys? Because on the one hand, my oldest son, he's identical to me. So I see kind of all the shortcomings that I had and all the issues that I had, I can see in him. So I'm trying to steer him away from some of those, but I've got to do kind of the opposite for my youngest one. And it's kind of a conflicting battle between the two of them.
Yeah. Good question, man.
Yeah, cool question.
This happens.
Was there another part to this?
Second kind of question is how best to, approach, this time of life as well as the coming, puberty, basically to really set them up, for a healthy future.
Dude, great question.
Yeah.
First, I want to
Yep.
commend you, bro. You're obviously a good dad.
Yeah.
Because you care. And, I messed this up early on and I overthought all of this. And I think a lot of parents who care a lot, who are into fitness do that. The most important thing you can do with young kids, and your boys are still young, is have them develop a relationship with fitness where they enjoy it. There's nothing more important than that. The workout itself, whether or not it's the best workout for getting leaner or stronger or perform, it doesn't matter. It's really about, do they have a relationship with fitness where, oh my God, I used to hang out with my dad. We would work out together. Oh, I love doing this. It doesn't matter if they're doing powerlifting or using the rings or calisthenics or wrestling or playing football or baseball or just running. None of that matters now. Now, later it matters when you get older, you're more of an adult. Now you got to train more specifically. But what you're developing now with your boys is a good relationship
with movement,
with fitness.
With movement.
That's it, dude.
It's about movement.
So you just have fun.
Yeah.
You just have fun.
I love the suspension trainer for this when you have a gap between ages because you can regress it, progress it.
Yeah.
They can play on it. It's kind of fun and challenging. And so I love like having a tool like that in your house somewhere where they can just all they see you kind of get on there and mess around. I see dad do some really, really challenging stuff. And you guys I think that's such a cool way to play with movement and fitness and them see that and not make it like such a serious thing. The diet thing, I'm curious, Justin's probably the best to talk about this because his two boys have very different eating habits and they're almost the exact same separate age too, right?
Yeah. It is different. But at the same time, we work through it the same way. And so I try to kind of not overcomplicate it and just kind of stick with the main things at hand, which is like steering them more towards whole foods, understanding the importance of protein and like how this restores the body and helps to build the muscle. And, like my youngest is very picky. And so we've had a lot of back and forth and fights about like, what, in terms of what he's eating, like how we can find our way towards like healthier options and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, we've figured out like what he sticks with the most. And me and my wife together have presented more, like he loves burgers. So we'll do like burgers, and we'll bring that up a little bit more in the meal. So we give him more wins. And so I think it's more like peering into like what they actually like, but then finding those healthy options within that parameter. So that, he's the most difficult for me. Like my oldest is a lot easier because he'll just kind of eat whatever. And he eats kimchi and like he's all into like all the healthy stuff and the fermented foods. And like, I was never like that. And I was pretty difficult growing up with that, but, he's already changing. His palate's changing. So the encouraging part is like, you just stick with, your sort of staple ideas of like, okay, we're going to present this protein and this is the center. And then around here, we're going to kind of focus on, it's the rice, it's the building, those healthy options in terms of carbs and vegetables and things like that. But, when we get too hyper focused on it, it just stresses everybody out. So yeah, it's, again, this is something you feel out with your wife and just try to work your best on giving them options so they feel like they're included with that.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with whole foods.
Yeah.
So if your son, is like, I want to eat, I'm hungry. All right, go get food. The options are all whole foods. And that's it.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that. And when kids are young, it's remarkable. You talk to parents whose kids are in their, mid to later teens, and it's crazy how much the body changes. You got one kid who's kind of chubby but you're sticking to whole foods, being active, suddenly his body leans out and changes, and don't worry too much about it. But keep whole foods, let them eat whenever they want. It's not a big deal. And then make exercise and fitness fun.
Yeah.
And that builds a foundation, dude. Later on, then it gets more specific.
It's the 6-year-old that is the leaner one that doesn't eat as much, right?
Yep.
So it's interesting that you bring this up right now. I was actually going to bring this up to the guys in a conversation today about my son. So my son was with my mother-in-law, and he sent a video of him dancing, and he's in his pajamas and stuff like that, no shirt on. And Katrina and I are like, man, he's really, really lean right now, like skinny. And he loves meat, but he doesn't eat a lot of carbs, and he doesn't eat junk, and he doesn't eat sweets. And so I've been going out of my way to do things right now, like around the foods he kind of eats, like his dessert would be like a Cocoa Whip. So now I'm putting granola and honey on it. And so I'm doing things that like normally, like he likes pancakes. I'm slapping some peanut butter with some syrup. Like I'm doing things that around the way he eats, and I'm sliding in those extra calories to have him do that to where he still enjoys the stuff he likes. And I'm not trying to radically change his diet, but I recognize like, dude, my son is light right now. He needs to put some weight on. And which is weird because I've been talking about on the show for almost 6 years now about what a great eater is. Like he eats healthy food. He doesn't like sweets. He doesn't eat junk, but he's like really, really skinny. He needs to put some weight on, and it's because he doesn't eat a lot of carbohydrates. I'll put a slab of meat. He'll just eat meat. That's it. He don't want no rice. He don't want no. So I'm trying to find these ways right now where I'm allowing him to do like you said, like the dessert. I'm giving a little bit bigger portion. I'm drizzling honey on it. I'm sprinkling granola in it. So I'm trying to find the foods that he likes and finding ways to I put butter on something that while I'm making it, so I'm boosting the calories that way. So I'm trying to find ways to do that. Again, not make a big deal about it. I don't want to for sure give my kid a complex that he's skinny or he needs to gain weight, but I see it. I see like, oh man, he's really light and moves a lot. And so Katrina and I have been talking about this. I'm like, hey, we need to bump some of his calories in different ways. And so I've been showing her how we can do that through his current diet, the way he eats, and sneaking in the extra 100, 200 calories here where he doesn't even feel like it. And for the first time, I'm trying to encourage him to eat some stuff that's a little sweeter or not ideally for him because he just needs the calories. He's moving, and he's like, it sounds like your son where he's like, my son will only eat when he's hungry. He's like, I'm not hungry, but he'll tell you when he's hungry, and then he'll eat, and then he'll just eat the meat. And he's like, we'll order, like when we send him to my families, they'll take him to a Five Guys burger. He'll take the buns off and eat just the meat and not the French fries. Like that's my son. Like he's crazy like that. He's just not a big fan of carbs and junk food and things like that. So I've had to find these creative ways with honey and butter and granola and stuff that I do know he likes to boost the calories within the meals.
William, you look like you work out a lot. Have you been training yourself for a while?
Yeah, I compete in powerlifting, and my wife's a personal trainer. So it's actually, I mean, the boys have grown up coming to see me, compete. And
dude,
my wife actually she's got access to a private gym at work, and so she starts bringing the 9-year-old every now and then.
That's
and
great.
They do like farmers carries and slam balls, anything like that, just to try to kind of get him engaged in it.
Okay, that's what I thought. So here's the thing. Here's the thing
fine, dude.
You want to be careful with. The rate of body dysmorphia and dysfunction around food in people who are in fitness is much higher than the average population, especially trainers, especially competitors. I don't know of any studies of this, but I would bet every dollar I have that the rate of eating dysfunction and body dysmorphia in the children of people who are in fitness is also much higher. And it's not because of bad intentions.
Yeah.
It's because
over-focusing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking from the personal experience. I won't go into too much detail, but I made a big mistake with this because my focus was too much on, no, you got to eat this. This is the healthy thing. Yeah. And it caused the problem. Really, it's just right now. It's about a good relationship. It's fun.
This was the conversation. This is a conversation that Katrina and I both had. Is like we do not like. He has no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, you're not like, eat more. You're too skinny.
Yeah, we're not saying nothing to him. I know the foods he kind of already likes, and so I'm giving a little bit bigger portions. I'm adding butter on that thing. He's not gonna see a little bit of olive oil in there, like stuff that I know he's not seeing, but I'm bumping his calories without him even knowing it, and so that's the strategy for us right now.
Because your boys already see dad. Dad is a superhero. They see mom is fitness and amazing. They're already going to look in the mirror and judge themselves and be like, I'm not as strong as dad, or I'm a little chubby or whatever. So you just make it, it's just fun, man. Oh man, my dad, I used to love working out with my dad. He never told me to work out. We just hung out. It was great. What about diet? I don't know. We just ate whatever we wanted.
Whatever they offered.
What was in your house? I don't know. I guess it was all whole food. Like they don't even realize it. They're just developing this good relationship. That's really where you want to focus, rather than trying to control things, because it's insidious, dude. It's very insidious.
Yeah.
And that's my oldest came home from school a couple months ago, and I guess they were learning about calories or something. And, he starts checking everything. Oh, how many calories are in this? Oh, don't need that many calories. And we're like, just get your protein. Yeah. Just focus on protein. So now they run around and look at all the labels and this has 6 grams of protein. This has 20 grams of protein in it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's it.
You're doing good, bro. You're doing good.
Yeah, and the fact that you're asking questions already tells me you're a good dad. So
just don't overthink it. That was a big conversation Katrina and I had about our son. It's
Keep
like
it light
he's healthy.
fun.
He's just really, really thin right now. I also recognize too, know this. They go through these spurts. And so part of it too, like he didn't look that way just like 6 months ago, but all of a sudden he just stretched and he was already a lean kid. So now he looks like
you guys saw those pictures of my son when he was 2. I sent him to you guys. He looked like a little sumo wrestler. Now he's like Linky all of a sudden.
When they go through those growth spurts, they'll really eat, and you're going to see like, I mean, it's changed overnight for me, especially my youngest.
And then their feet grow all of a sudden. They look
just to encourage you. That totally changes. Over
you're
time.
doing good, bro. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good.
So I appreciate it.
All right, man.
You got it, man.
All right, take it easy, William.
Thanks for calling.
Good one.
You got it. I personally know, just off the top of my head, 3 people, and I'm not even including myself, and I won't go into too much detail of myself, just out of respect, but I know personally 3 people who are in fitness, one of which everybody would know who they are, whose children struggled with eating disorders and body dysmorphia. And we're all in health and fitness.
You got to find a study on that. There's got to be a study on that. It's way more likely. You have a mom and dad. Here's the thing.
They also hear what you say about yourself.
We've talked about even not that. What you do. They see.
That's what I mean.
And if your kid sees you weigh and measure your food every single day,
that's right,
and think that that's not going to make an impact,
that's right.
You're crazy.
Or you say something like you had a birthday party,
I'm fat,
and your kid's having some cake, and you're like, no, don't eat that. That's not healthy for you. I make the mistake of saying things even like that with my kids, where my son will go somewhere, somebody will offer him something, and he'll be like, I don't know if I can eat that. Let me ask my dad. I'm like, too far. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting this question was brought. This was literally on my notes to bring up and talk to you guys about, just because literally it just happened 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Like this, and Katrina and I talked about it. And it sounds like he's in a similar spot. Him and his wife, good relationship with exercise, food, this and that. They have the older kid who was eating like a monster. And then they have the little kid who just doesn't eat that. That's Max. Max does not. I've told you guys forever, doesn't eat sweet. And for the first time ever, I went, oh man, he's really on the lean side right now. We need to get some more calories in. But then it's not telling him any of that. I tell Katrina, it's like, listen, we're not going to make a big deal of it.
You're not trying to stuff him.
Yeah. Now when he gets his Cocoa Whip, he gets, 2 tablespoons of honey drizzled over it and a scoop of granola. You know what I'm saying? And he loves it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's a way I could sneak in 200 more calories right there, and trying to do it in things like that. Yep. He has his French toast and now gets some powdered sugar on top of his. Like, I get to do things like that where it's like, I'm not trying to make this kid have any idea that I'm trying to put 200 calories.
They don't need to be aware of it.
No. And so it sounds like he's in a similar situation where he's got a kid who just doesn't eat a lot of food. I have that kid. And it's been good for up until this point. I've watched it go, it's been, man, this is awesome. My kid doesn't even eat a chocolate chip cookie. He puts half of it down or whatever with that. But now I see the other side of it is like he's growing now and he's moving more and he's getting stretched out. Yeah. And you can see he needs more calories. And so it's like, okay, how do I do that without making a big deal?
Our next caller is Luke from Tennessee.
What's up, Luke?
How you doing, Luke?
What's happening?
Hey, guys. Hey, nice to see you again.
How you doing,
What's happening?
man?
How can we help you?
Yeah, so last time I was on, basically I just finished up the MAPS anabolic 3-day-a-week version, and I was looking for something to help me get through kind of a weight plateau. I had stalled out about 183 pounds. I was trying to get up to 190 pounds, and you guys suggested going down to MAPS 15, and that worked phenomenally, honestly. Nice. I actually did not touch my diet at all. I had reverse dieted up to like 4,300 calories. And I didn't touch that. I just went to the MAPS 15 program, put on 3 pounds within that 9 weeks.
Wow, dude.
So,
what do you know?
Yeah, extremely happy with that. But now I'm finished with it. And I don't know what to do next.
Probably stay in the 15 protocol. It's probably ideal for you because it sounds like you have a pretty fast metabolism and the lower volume type of style. And so moving to one of those, I don't know if you've looked at all the ones that we've released recently.
Yeah, MAPS 15 powerlift, 15 strong.
Yeah. I think that would serve you.
I was looking at powerlift because one of the goals I have now is I want to try and pull 400 for deadlifts.
Yeah.
And I've got 360 twice, but that's all the weight that I have. So I had to order some more plates. I'm waiting for those to come in.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I mean, I think that, maybe power lift would be good. I don't know. What do you think? Power
I love
lift or
that.
strength?
Yeah, if you want your deadlift to go
I
up,
love
sure.
that. I love that. Actually, it's
Okay.
out of all the 15s that we've done recently, I think it's one of the coolest the way it's programmed too.
Yep.
So I love
Really?
that idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
have fun with it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I like
You'll
that.
get strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll definitely check that out then. I'll start on it today.
We'll send that over to
And
you,
just
man.
just for reference, just so people listening can understand this, you called in. If I'm not mistaken, you were experienced. It wasn't like you were a beginner. You were already
Right.
training. You're eating, muscular, lean, obviously. And we took your volume way down to maps 15. So you're doing like about 20 minutes a day, 2 lifts a day,
Thanks for highlighting.
and you
this.
built
Right.
muscle.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I want people to
I know.
hear that will
People like, yeah, they can't
people look at it like, oh, it's a beginner program.
Yeah.
No. Try this if you're advanced. Watch what happens.
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
Yep. Yep.
There's a world of difference. And, I was coaching softball and basketball at the same time. So you get a little bit of cardio in there every once in a while, which, not a whole lot. It's not physically demanding, but, dunking on fifth graders sometimes kind of gets a little bit physical. But, other than that, though, yeah, exactly right. Going down in the volume was exactly what I needed to stimulate the muscle growth. I mean, I'd stalled out, like I said, at 183 and putting on 3 pounds in 9 weeks without any body fat increase, because I'm hovering around 10% right now,
That's awesome.
is amazing.
Yeah.
How was it for you psychologically? Because a lot of times my advanced guys, I do that. It's hard for them psychologically because they've trained themselves to have to like lift for that hour in the gym and hit it really hard. How was it for you psychologically?
Yeah, it was an adjustment. I had to just kind of tell myself to trust the process, of course, at the beginning. And then after about the first phase of it, I was like, I really like this because, I just go out in the garage. I got a PRX set up out there. I just go out in the garage. I'm done in, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe, if I'm taking my time a little bit, and I can go back to my day. So instead of spending like an hour and a half in the gym, like I was with the anabolic program, which is also great, but that's a lot of time when you got kids and a family and, adult responsibilities and stuff like that.
That's
so,
awesome.
but after a while, yeah, psychologically, it was a little bit of an adjustment at first, but after seeing the results, like no qualms whatsoever.
That's cool.
That's awesome, dude.
That's
You'll
awesome.
love Maps 15 powerlift.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
Send us an update too. I'd love to hear how that goes for you, man. It's awesome.
You'll
Will
pull
do.
400.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking, hopefully maybe summertime.
All right, Luke.
All right,
We'll see.
dude.
All right, man.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
You got it.
So
Wow,
great.
Good commercial.
Well, it's crazy too. He was still doing some cardio activity, didn't change his diet. He would increase his calories a little bit and not done that, and he probably would have been
You know,
put
you know what the problem, Adam, is
Been even
that
further.
we constantly hear about, and there's truth to this, right? Progressive overload.
Yeah.
I got to progressively overload.
Yeah. More.
If I want to
Yeah.
build more muscle, I'm advanced. What you're telling me is I'm going to do 20 minutes a day instead of my typical workout, and going that far back is going to give me better results. At best, I'll maybe maintain. That's what people may think. No, dude. Oftentimes, it's the exact thing your body needs, and then watch what happens.
Yeah.
And look, 3 pounds of lean body mass, maintaining 10% body fat with someone who's already advanced. That's phenomenal.
I mean, I had this a long discussion with my brother-in-law last night. I think that the hardest part, it's not just the progressive overload thing. It's everything else in our life serves us
More
to
is
do
better.
more.
More is better. More is better.
Study harder, work harder, you make more money. You do all these things, and almost everything else in life rewards us for pushing harder, doing more. And your biology doesn't work that way. Your physiology doesn't work that way. It's not that way. It's a science, and it's a delicate dance, and it's a stress.
Yep.
And it's a good stress
Filled with
because
checks
it
and balances.
elicits a positive change when done appropriately. But the more of it you do isn't the better. And I think that's what people don't understand. They don't know how to balance that with everything else. And so, especially if you've been lifting for a long time and you're like, I must need more. I must need more. I'm not seeing it. I must need more. Then you get yourself in this rabbit hole of 6-7 days a week, hour and a half routines, high intensity failure training. It's just like, no, of course you're not responding,
All right, I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. 30% body fat. For men, this is way too high. This is actually a bit high for women as well. So in today's episode, we're talking about how you can go from 30 to 10. What is 10% body fat? This is when you have a visible six-pack. Can you go from 30 to 10%? Yes, it's possible, but not if you guess along the way. So we're going to talk about how you can do that in today's episode.
Now, there's a huge range, right, of like body types.
Yes.
Some people can run a little bit heavier or a little bit higher body.